Hello there, and welcome back to Remaining Calm Through October Beyond. I'm your host, Karin Del Maestro, your health and calmness coach, breast cancer BRCA2 thriver. And our intention with this 31-day series is to invite you to invite more calm into your life. I think we all know that we want it. But often we're like, but how? When the world is crazy, when the world is spinning around you, then it can sometimes feel really challenging to hit that pause button. And so I think so often we think it has to be hard or take a long time or be expensive. And you'll notice that most of these calming tips are quick, easy, and free. And that's just the way I like it because to me, those are the things that we actually get to do. And I'm the coach that doesn't just give you a lot of information. I'm the coach that actually helps you do the things that you know that you want to really do. Okay. So having said that, we are jumping in today and talking about observing your breathing. So I'm going to invite you right now to do a little body scan. Do a little body scan. Where are you breathing? When you breathe in, where is it going? Are you noticing it high up in your chest and your shoulders are tense? Is it going to your belly? Is it expanding your rib cage? Or is it so shallow that your body isn't really moving at all? We're observing. We're not judging. We're just kind of being curious and saying, don't even know, haven't even thought about it before, perhaps. Unless you've been practicing yoga for a while or some other breathing technique. But I'm just asking you to observe. I know for me personally, when I'm caught up in the busyness and perhaps stressed out or feeling anxious, I notice that my breath definitely comes up into my chest, up high. I notice that my shoulders and my neck get tense, right? And all of these things, like it would be okay if they didn't have an impact on our health, but they can. And so if we can do something about it quickly and easily, then why not? Right? Why not? So play along with me and see the impact that breathing can have on your life. Now, I want to share a little story because I've been working in health and wellness for over 20 plus years. First, as a personal trainer, I was an athlete. I used to do biathlons, which is a 2 mile run followed by a somewhere between 20 and 30 mile bike, and then another 2 mile run. And I did a number of these in Central Park in New York City. At the time, I was living just outside of Manhattan. And so I can remember when I was training and doing all those things, being very aware of my breath. And as I would train people to do Ironman, I was very aware of breathing. But I'm not talking about that breath because my breath journey, as so often happens in life, right? We learn different techniques, we learn different skills. It's shifted, it's changed. Now, was what I was doing for myself and sharing with other athletes wrong? No, because we were working towards something else. But when we're looking for a calming breath, the best kind of breathing that I have encountered so far, and I've done yoga in my life, I've done Pilates, done a lot of different modalities, and I've loved most of them, to be honest. I love to investigate how my body feels as I move it differently. And breathing is kind of the same thing. But what has really shifted for me was when my dear friend and colleague in Thrivership School, my group coaching program, Stacy Stone, who is a breath educator and movement educator, I call her my body wizard. She's a dear, dear friend of mine. But she introduced me to the breathing called Buteyko Breathing, kind of a fancy name. But essentially, it's breathing in and out through your nose. Might be a bit different than you've been used to doing. Or you may have been taught breathe in through your nose. You know, when people say to you, take a deep breath, they say breathe in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. But with Buteyko breathing, both the inhale and the exhale are through the nose. So I'm going to invite you to try this on for size today. It may or may not work for you. That's okay. But if we don't try things, then we don't know, right? So I want to introduce you to a super, super simple technique. And it's not a deep breath. It's a little different than a deep breath. Let's think calming breath. Let's think calming breath. Because what our breath has the power to do is take us from our sympathetic nervous system, which is that fight or flight survival mode that so many of us has lived in. I actually learned recently of a trauma I went through when I was 8 years old that has had me living in survival mode for most of my life. So it's been really interesting to realize that and now get to say, wow, I don't want to live like that anymore. I want to feel calmer more often. And so trust me, when, as I'm putting together these 31 tips for you, I'm trying them on for size 2. I'm seeing how they work for me and my body. So with that said, if you can, and you can also do this while you're walking, you can do it while you're driving. And the good thing is nobody else knows that you're doing this, right? So if you are at a doctor's appointment and you're realizing that your anxiety is starting to kick in, or maybe you're out and about and you're seeing everybody in breast cancer awareness hats or t-shirts, and you're feeling a bit triggered maybe. This is so good because you can do this anywhere, anytime. It works very quickly. Nobody else has a clue that you're even doing it because you're just breathing. Okay. So if you can, I'm going to invite you to pause in your day because I just would love for you to be really aware of this breath and how it's working for you, how it feels in your body. Okay. So be aware right now. Do a little body scan. How are you feeling? Are you feeling tense? Are you feeling anxious? Maybe you're already having a good day. That would be fabulous. This just adds to it. This just adds to it. So as you're sitting, we're closing our mouth and you're going to take a breath in through your nose, slow, controlled, for a count of 4. So it's in, 2, 3, 4, and then hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the nose, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale through the nose, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the nose, 2, 3, 4. And then just start breathing normally as you normally would. If at any point in that time that 4 count is too long for you, if you feel like you're struggling for your breath, then just shorten it. Shorten it until you get used to it. Now, as you're breathing in, this is actually a diaphragmatic breath. And I like to think of it, and this was one of the images that Stacy had shared with us as she was sharing. We have a class, it's called Your Body Speaks Your Mind. And so Stacy comes in and teaches that class for us. But the way that the visual that she gave me that really resonates with me is that as we're breathing in, our diaphragm is like an elevator going down towards our stomach. And then as we're exhaling, that elevator is going back up. To me, and there are many other, things that you might be able to think about, dropping an anchor to the bottom of the ocean and then lifting it back up. There's many things that you could probably do, but that visual for me of the elevator really resonates. And so when you're done with that breath, do another body scan. How do you feel now? Do you feel calmer just from doing that short, super short exercise? And that's called a box breath, by the way, right? It's like 4 counts and they're all the same. So like I said, if you need to make it shorter, that's okay. We're not judging. It's something new. Sometimes it takes a while, right? These are practices. These are practices. It's not about being perfect. It's about trying something new on for size, seeing if it works for you. And this, for me, is truly one of the quickest and most effective ways to calm down my nervous system and switch to parasympathetic, which is rest and digest. That's our happy place. That's our calm place. That's our peaceful place. That's where we want to spend more time. And you have the power by just being aware and shifting your breath, right? So it's such an amazing tool. So I'm going to invite you today, your calming action of the day, to practice this breathing just for a few minutes. Notice the impact, right? Be curious. How's it feel in my body? What's going on? Am I feeling looser? Am I not feeling my muscles squeezed as tight? Do I suddenly feel lighter? Do I feel like I've got more energy? Right? I invite you to think about how that breath is feeling in your body. Okay. And as we end up today, as we will every day throughout this series, I invite you to place your left hand on your heart, your right hand gently on top of it. Imagine that you are holding your heart in your hands with love, with care. And say to your 10-year-old self the words that you've always wanted to hear, the words and the feeling that you are going to give to yourself. You are loved. You are safe. I've got you. I love you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a calm and beautiful day as you become more aware of your breath. Thank you for joining me. Bye for now.